The Revolve tool is very useful in creating 3D shapes that are revolved or symmetrical about some axis. So taking a look at this lamp example, I can see that my blue base portion here is a fairly complicated shape. And just using the extrusion tools that we've learned so far, might actually be impossible to try to create this type of shape, or at least very, very difficult to come up with a shape like this. In just the same way, the top portion of my lampshade, also a somewhat complicated shape. Again, this may not be possible or so easy to achieve with just extrusions, and may have been created using a revolve. So, to generate this 3D model of my lamp design here, I've started off with a sketch like this for the lamp base. And essentially what I'm doing is revolving that 360 degrees about some central axis. In fact, this axis right here. Same idea for the lamp shade here. I have my lamp shade sketch, and again I'm just revolving it all the way around that Z or purple axis we're seeing here. So let's take a look at how we can create this revolved object. I might just jump into a front view here to get a better look at my sketches there, and I can see my two sketches all be revolving here. So to create any revolve, I'll need at least two things. So I'll need the sketch itself that I'll be revolving about some axis, and then I'll also need to define which axis I'm revolving about. So in this case, this would be my sketch profile, and I would actually be revolving about this line right here, or that purple axis going straight up in this case. So I actually can use any axis, construction axis, or line to define the axis I'm revolving about. So I could actually use this line itself. But in this case, just to help visualize things, I'll draw another vertical line. So I'm just going to draw a line here. So this will be the line that I'll be revolving about. So I'm going to want to make sure it's exactly just straight up this Z-axis here. So I'll throw in something like that. And now this line will be the line I'm using to revolve both of my sketches about. Now to do the revolve itself is a nice and simple process. I might just jump into a 3D view here again, just so we can see the revolve a little bit better. But again, I still have this axis line available that I'll be revolving my sketches about. And to revolve this object, nice, simple, easy to use process, I can just go into my tools on my left-hand side. And here we have a whole number of 3D tools available to us that we'll be learning through a number of lessons. But in the middle there, I have the Revolve tool, and tap to activate the Revolve tool. And now it's just asking me to select faces or closed sketches that I'd like to revolve. So let's start with the base. I'll just tap to select my closed sketch here, and then tap next. And now it's asking me to select a line or edge to use as the axis of revolution. So in this case, I can use that vertical line that I've just drawn on my Z-axis here. And right away I can see that 3D revolved object coming in. Notice I have some options up in my top left-hand corner. I can change the angle, for example. If I don't want to revolve all the way around that axis, I could just revolve, let's say, 25 degrees. And we're seeing we've just revolved that profile 25 degrees, or 90 degrees, and so on. But of course, in this case, we want to revolve it all the way around, so we'll want 360 degrees. We also have an option for changing height here, but we'll learn more about that later on as well. If I'm happy with this, I can tap the Done check. And now I see the base for my lamp design coming in here. In just the exact same way, if I'd like to revolve around the lamp shade. I'll jump into my tools, revolve tools. First, select the face or closed sketch I'm looking to revolve, so that would be this sketch here. Tap next. And next, select the line or edge that I'd like to use as my revolution axis. So again, that line on my z-axis there. Just the same, I can change the angle I'm revolving about to whatever I may need. But again, in this case, of course, I would like to revolve all the way around 360 degrees. And tap done to finish it off. So now we can see it's a nice and simple process to create our revolved bodies. And extrudes and revolves are probably the two most commonly used 3D tools to help create our 3D designs. In the next few lessons, we're going to learn a whole number of additional 3D design tools.